It's Reality Check with Craig Price.
I'm an idiot.
4 minutes in and I'm already wrong.
I'm like a monkey. Hello, look at me.
You're like a beautiful mind. I'm more like Forrest Gump. So it's,
Craig Price is the man.
I knew it. Craig, shut up.
it's Reality Check with Craig Price. I'm your host, Craig Price, and this week, Dr. Lindsey Matheson is here to discuss her charity event, Endangered, Art for Apes. Welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for listening. As many of you have been a listener for on the show for a while, I am a very amateur photographer, mostly animals. And while I do a charity calendar each year, at least for the past few years, that's pretty much the extent of what I do with my photography. Yeah, I send clients and friends prints as thank yous or birthday gifts, but I don't have a portfolio or anything really to sell or even display my work besides Instagram, at Craig Price 47 if you're wondering. What I have done the past few years has entered the Endangered Art for Apes art contest, because the entry fee goes directly to charity, and if something is sold, a percentage of the sale also goes to the Center for Great Apes. It's a fun way for me to give back to a charity I believe in, and it also allows me to grow a little bit as a photographer. I've learned how to mount photographs and frame things and understand a little bit what you do when you sell a limited edition print. So this year, I wanted to bring Lindsey on because many of you have asked me about this situation in the past, and it's a worthy charity I'd love to spread the word about. Entries will be accepted until October 2nd, so you still have over a month to decide on something. I suggest you go to Art for Apes Facebook page or the website to see current and past entries and have a listen today as we get into detail about Endangered Art for Apes Global Juried Art Contest with Lindsey Matheson. I haven't gotten a photo for you this year yet. I've been traveling around. I travel all over the country, and every stop I go to the zoos. And I have one picture that I think might be a little too goofy for what you guys look for, because every time I see what you guys posted, you have some beautiful, beautiful artwork. I have a goofy picture of an orangutan kind of smacking his forehead and looking like he's saying, "Oh, crap." So... So what kind of things are you looking for? Is that going to be too goofy? And because I want to make sure that we sell it for as much as we possibly can, so we can get a good commission for your charity. But I want to make sure it actually sells.
Well, I think it sounds. I would love to see the image because I think it sounds as though it might be just perfect. We have a big range of different styles of art and photography that get entered into the Endangered Art and Photography Contest. Some people go out and they go on these wonderful photography expeditions and they send me photographs of lions from the Serengeti. I've had fabulous cartoons from artists who want to illustrate the endangered threat to species, and they've worked it into a really funny cartoon, and that's been interesting. I've had some interesting, funny, goofy, if you like, photographs of apes, because the great thing about apes, of course, is that they do such funny and almost human-like activities, and you can almost anthropomorphically decide or try and interpret what they're doing. So I think that sometimes these things can be very effective, very appealing to people. So yes, there's a range. There's the beautiful, stately pictures of elephants and lions and wonderful birds that we get as well, and also these rather funny images. That everything is appropriate here. We encourage creativity. We encourage individuality. And to be honest, the children, we have a category for young artists under age 18. I shouldn't call them children. They're young artists, and some of them are the most creative of all. They come up with the most amazing ideas. Some almost like street art, which have been very appealing and have really got the message across. So yeah, send it in to me. Lindsey@artforapes.com. Send it to me and let me see what it looks like.
Well, absolutely. And like I said, I always worry because when I do look at the pictures that are on not only your Instagram account but your Facebook page, it's amazing some of the pieces you have. And for those of you who don't know, I'm here with Dr. Lindsey Matheson. She is the founder and curator for Endangered, which is the Art for Apes art and photography contest, which I have entered in and have been selected for the last 2 years. even though this is the fourth year. I didn't know you existed the first year, and you were the first person to ever sell a piece of my art or show a piece of my art in a gallery. So I have a special place for Art for Apes.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad.
So what is this? This is a charity that helps the Center for Great Apes. How did you get involved with them, and why did you get involved with them?
Well, my first encounter with the Center for Great Apes, the center is this wonderful sanctuary for orangutans and chimpanzees in Wauchula, which is central Florida. And it rescues orangutans and chimpanzees from bad conditions in the entertainment industry or as domestic pets. So they could have been in roadside zoos, they could have been in horrendous circumstances as somebody's pet that basically has outgrown their cuteness. And it was set up by a wonderful lady called Patty Reagan, and it's situated on 120 acres of what was formerly orange groves, and we have 45 apes there. And they require a lot of looking after in order to keep them in good condition, keep them happy, keep them entertained, because these are really intelligent, sentient animals. And we get no government funding. I'm on the board of the center, by the way, and so I wanted to do something to help the center to raise some money. And one of the amazing things about these apes is that they're actually quite artistic, and to keep them interested, to keep their minds working, because they are so intelligent, the caregivers actually encourage them to paint, and they love it. Some of them really love it. And in fact, we have one of our most famous residents, Bubbles, with Michael Jackson as a chimpanzee, and Bubbles loves to paint. And that's what gave me the idea of having an art contest, an art and photography contest, to raise money for these wonderful animals. And we actually sell some of Bubbles' art in our art exhibitions. So if anybody is interested to learn more about the center, the website is centerforgreatapes.org, and you'll see some wonderful photographs of our 13 orangutans and 32 chimpanzees. At the moment, it's very hot in central Florida, and the apes are happily playing in paddling pools, a lot of them, to try and keep cool and have fun, particularly the chimpanzees. And there's a rather nice video that I posted there and on our Facebook site, again, artforapes.com. And it's art with the numeral 4apes.com, so art4apes.com. And if you take a look there, you'll see a really nice video of some of our chimpanzees playing in a paddling pool and having a lovely time.
Well, that enrichment where they're painting, they do that here in Houston, too, with the orangutans. In fact, my wife has bought ornaments for the tree, for Christmas trees, where that the baby orangutan had, smeared their fingers, and it's their cute little things they've got. So this enrichment is not only a good way to raise funds for the zoo and for the center, but it also is a great way for the animals to get engaged and to play, because this is not a zoo. The Center for Great Apes is not a zoo. There's not visiting hours, as far as I can say, and there's like one day a year that people can go.
That's correct. Yes, you have to. You join as a member. It's not a zoo. We want the apes to. They've all been in entertainment. Some of them have been in films. Some of them, as I mentioned, Bubbles, Michael Jackson's chimpanzee, has been following him around on his life, and a lot of them were in roadside zoos or caged up as domestic pets. So they haven't come from captivity, they haven't come from the wild. They've been in captivity. And what we're trying to do is give them a dignified retirement and allow them to behave more as apes in the wild would do. They don't have survival skills. We can't release them into the wild, which people often ask us, but they wouldn't last 5 minutes because they don't have those survival skills. What we try and do is allow them to rest. They enjoy interaction with humans, but we don't want them to perform. We don't want them to feel that they have to do anything for humans. That's what they've been doing all their lives. So, we introduce them carefully. They're in groups so they can play more naturally with each other. The caregivers do wonderful things, like when they feed them, before they go into the large areas where they can run around, they hide food all over the place, so that it simulates the foraging that they would do naturally, but they haven't had to do all their lives. And they also need entertainment. They need mental stimulation. And so, they play. At this time of year, we have special water sprinklers that they activate by, when they break a beam and they suddenly get sprayed, and they have to work out how that works so they can get the water when they want it. And they do lots of things to try and make sure that the apes are constantly engaged, but we don't want them to perform. We don't want them to have hordes of people coming in and staring at them all the time. So once or twice a year, we have member days when people who have belonged to the center, who've made it a small donation to the center, can come, and under very controlled circumstances, they can see the apes. At the holiday event in December, they can see the apes opening their Christmas, their holiday gifts. They'll also be shown around by docents who will tell them about the life history of each ape and what's happened to them and what foods they like, what they like to do, which of them gets on with which other apes. It's a really fun day. And we have lots of things on sale during that time. You mentioned Christmas tree ornaments. We also do fabulous planters that have been painted by the apes. And again, that's just something, we don't force them to do that. They have the opportunity, but if that day they don't feel like painting, then they don't have to do it. They can go in the corner and maybe suck on a nice lollipop or something like that.
Well, that's why I wanted to make sure that people understood the distinction that this center is strictly for the apes. It is all about them and making their lives better. It's not a situation where, like a zoo. This is nothing but helping these animals live the rest of their lives in a well environment that is best simulated as the wild as they possibly can. And I think it's a great idea. So you've taken the fact that they do art, and you created, a couple years ago, you started this contest. Explain the different categories, because I always go into photography, because that's my bread and butter, is the animal photography. But there's so much more stuff that I think people don't even know about, because I think the classics are the paintings and the photos, but there's jewelry and there's sculptures. There's so many amazing pieces.
Yes, that's right. I mean, we have three major categories, which are fine art, photography, and wearable art. And there's a special category for young artists under the age of 18, and they can submit anything that they want. Fine art can be anything. It particularly includes sculpture. And we get, as I say, a lot of different kinds. We get very impressionist kinds of art. And I should say, it doesn't all have to be about apes. It's all about, it's called the Endangered Art and Photography Contest, because it's all about what is endangered in our world. So it can be any endangered or threatened species. It doesn't have to be formally on any list. If you see a threat, then, and you feel inspired to paint it or photograph it, then we're interested to see it. We've even had photographs and paintings of threatened humans in different circumstances, which has been very interesting. So with art, fine art and sculpture, we have scratch boards, we have colored pencil, we have all different kinds of artistic media, different sizes. We've had diptychs and triptychs, all different kinds of artistic media. Photography, we have different kinds of photography as well. We do accept digitally manipulated images because we see digital manipulation of photography as a form of art. We just ask that people tell us how they've done their photographs, so we can truly appreciate what they've done. Wearable art, we do a fashion show. We have an exhibition that I'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute, but we have an exhibition and we exhibit all of the wearable art. So with beautiful hand-painted silk tunics, scarves, hats, wonderful jewelry, some jewelry made out of paper origami, exquisitely painted beads, some done by some really talented young artists. We've had rings made in the shape of endangered species. We really do get a very wide range, and we really encourage creativity. And if anybody has a question about whether anything would be suitable in the contest, they can always email me. I'm always there at lindsey@artforapes.com.
Well, I want people to know that the deadline for submission, which is why I'm having you on here before Labor Day, is October 2nd, 2016. I wanted people to get a full month of prep time. Now, this artwork, does it have to be made this year? Is it something that could have been done, a photograph they took years ago? Or is there a limitation as far as that goes?
No, we don't set any limitations except that it must be your own original work. And if anybody collaborates, that's okay, but just name them in the online entry procedure. There's a little box that says, is there a collaborating artist? But it can have been made any time before. We don't place any restrictions on that at all. So you don't have to paint anything or take a photograph specially for us. If you have a body of work, then please exhibit it. One of the things we try and do is obviously it's an online juried contest. So everyone submits their work online, and then it's adjudicated by the judges, and we issue prizes in each category, first, second, and third prizes, cash prizes, and also places in our exhibition, which is in Miami during Art Basel Week. And also we're having a new one this year in England. But we also try and give each artist who enters, we try and introduce them to a wider audience. So we put all the entries up on our web page, and we also put them up on our Facebook page. So everybody gets the chance. We put up the name, the title, all rights reserved. And if you have a website, we put that up, because we try and make sure that everybody gets something out of this. We like to put the fun into fundraising, and we like everybody to gain. And so the artists and photographers who enter will get some publicity from entering, and the Centre for Great Apes gets some funds, and we hope everybody enjoys the experience.
Yeah, and there is a $25 entry fee per...
There is, and that goes straight to the Centre for Great Apes. We don't take, my little team of organisers, we pay all the costs, and so any money that we get goes straight to the centre. We don't take anything.
And that's how I got involved, because I wanted to find a way I could give back so this way I was able to donate the money, but also
yes.
any piece that's sold. And like I said, you're the first person that's ever sold a piece of mine, and I've sold a couple pieces since then, but I
actually have one of yours, Craig. I really love it. One of my friends bought one of your pieces from the last exhibition to give to me as a gift.
Oh, I believe...
So I'm very fortunate.
Was that the orangutan, or was that the chimp, or was that the elephant?
It's the chimpanzee. It's the chimpanzee.
Yeah, that one is... I love that piece. It's on my phone. I look at it all the time. It's my showcase piece. That's my favorite one. Oh, I'm glad that you have it. That makes me feel better that I know it's someone who can appreciate it. Not that I wouldn't think anybody would, but when you're not used to selling art, and you especially with pictures of animals, because animals are so subjective. Some people love chimpanzees, some people hate chimpanzees, some people love lions, some people are afraid of lions. So it's hard to gauge what people are looking for when you're doing something that's often so specific to what people's tastes are. Which is why I had reservations about my goofy orangutan, but I will definitely send that to you.
Yes.
Now you're doing it. Not only is it in Miami. The exhibition is in Miami. It's November 30th through December 3rd. But you're also
right.
You're taking it to England.
We are. We've had an increasing number of entries from Europe and in particular from Great Britain. And so it becomes more expensive for people to send their art all the way over to the US. So we decided that we would set up an exhibition in England to try and encourage more people to take part. And so in the week commencing February the 20th of 2017, we're holding our first UK exhibition in the historic market town of Southwell, or Southwell, though it's pronounced two ways in the UK, in Nottinghamshire, which is in the Midlands. And we have a lovely set of premises marked out, the old Theatre Deli, with a beautiful upstairs series of rooms where we're going to be able to hang a lot of beautiful art, and there's room for sculpture, and it's a stage for our fashion show. It's going to be lovely. And it's a very central town with easy communications to a lot of major cities, including London. And we're going to be having a fashion show and artist receptions, and the show will be up for 4 or 5 days in the middle of that week. And I think it's going to be great. It's a big artistic tradition in Southwell, and a lot to see if you actually come up for the day. There's a fabulous cathedral, lovely market town, fine restaurants, and a lot of art. So I think it's going to be a good venue for us, and we're really looking forward to it.
So is that a separate contest, or is it?
Nope, same contest. All you do is you enter the contest, and we'll be offering places in both exhibitions. So it doubles the chances, basically, of everybody getting into an exhibition. What we try and do is give everybody. I'd love to show every single piece that we get, because it's all such heartfelt and creative work, and it's been done with such a love of the animals. And I would love to be able to show everything that we get. But sadly, space just doesn't permit. We get hundreds of entries, and we have to select the ones that, the prize winners will certainly get offered a place. The very high scoring entries get offered a place as well, and we try to achieve a balance, so that we have a mix of animals, a mix of styles. We try to appeal for it to everybody, and we try to make it a really interesting and varied exhibition, and make sure that we've got, a good amount of fine arts and sculpture, nice amount of photography, and plenty of wearable art for our fashion shows.
Well, this year I'm hoping to get something in, and if so, I actually hope to be able to make it. I have not been able to actually make it yet.
No.
It's in Miami, it's in between the holidays, so it's just difficult for me to take off that way. But this year, there may be something in Florida that may be happening that week that I may be going to, so I may be able to stop in for the day and see what it looks like.
That would be great. We're going to be in Brickell, which is a really nice part of town. We're there during Art Basel Week, which is when Miami is alive with art. So anybody coming into Miami to see the exhibition will find that there's just a ton of art in every street and every venue. So it'll be a fun place to come for a day or two. And come in and see us, and we'll be thrilled to see anybody who wants to come in and see us. We can tell you about the Centre for Great Apes. We can show you the beautiful art. We can direct you to the best restaurants as well.
Well, I certainly believe in what you do, and I love what you do. I'm very humbled by the other entries that have been there with me, because I'm always shocked to see my little picture up against this great stuff. And in fact, I was honored that you used my orangutan a couple years ago as publicity. I actually have the ad from the Miami Herald with my picture that you used to promote.
Oh, that's good.
So I really love what you guys do. And once again, the deadline is October 2nd, 2016. They can go it's $25 per piece, and where can they go to sign up and start submitting?
Right. If they go to www.art4apes.com. So it's ART4apes.com, art4apes.com. If you go there and look for the tab Contest Submissions, you'll see all the rules, the terms, all the details about it. And if you enter, it will take you through to the Juried Art Services website, which is a very user-friendly online entry system. And thanks very much to Paul Fisher, who runs Juried Art Services, because he donated the use of his wonderful online system to us. So he's a great supporter. We're very grateful for that. So www.art4apes.com, contest submissions. And if anybody has any queries, they can always email me, Lindsey at art4apes.com. That's Lindsey at art4apes.com.
Well, I will make sure all the links are up there on the website. Also, people will find out October 31st, November 1st, around that time, whether their submission has been accepted or not. And
that's right.
And then it's up to them to get the things ready for the big show.
Absolutely. And don't forget, there are really nice prizes. There's cash prizes, exhibition places, and we will be posting it. Please like our Facebook page, art4apes.com, art4apes, because we'll be posting details of some new prizes that we're offering as well. So keep in touch with us on Facebook.
Well, keep in touch with your email. There'll be a goofy orangutan coming soon.
I can't wait. Thank you, Craig.
That's the show. Thanks to Lindsey for coming on. I hope you submit something to the contest. Please submit a review on iTunes, or at least click 5 stars if you can. Like the Facebook page and follow at RealityCheckPod on Twitter. All questions, comments, and guest suggestions should go to Craig at SpeakerCraigPrice.com. See you next week.